to Perfectly Healthy and Toned Radio with your host, Darren Fatman McDuffie. And now, prepare to get fat. Hey, what's cracking? Welcome back to another episode of Perfectly Healthy and Toned Radio, brought to you by I'mTheFatMan.com. I'm your host, Darren Fatman McDuffie, and I want you to be perfectly healthy and toned. Tonight, we have Erin Meagher of Kelapo. I'm not even certain if I'm pronouncing Erin's last name and the name of her company right. I'm sure she'll correct me. And she's going to come on and she's going to be talking about coconut oil. I know that a lot of you know that I'm a big fan of coconut oil. I've been ever since I found out about it. And I just wanted Erin to come on and talk about how she started her company, so we'll get into that. But before I do, if you have not gone to my YouTube page or joined my YouTube family, then please do that. I'm located on the YouTube is youtube.com/fatbodybc. So youtube.com/fat, that's PHAT, body, BODY, BC. B like Bernard, C like Calvin, so Fat Body BC. Also, I'd like for you to do me a big favor. If you can, please email me with any questions you might have on personal care products. I'm actually interviewing someone from England this Saturday. It's going to be a recorded show, but I will upload it to Blog Talk and it'll play just like a live show. But she's a personal care expert, and the personal care products expert, rather, and she's going to be talking about personal care products and some of the things that you need to look out for in your products. So if you want to email me, my email address is Darren@fat, that's PHAT-man.com. So Darren, DARREN, @fat-man.com. That is a dash and not an underscore, so don't forget that or it won't get to me. Or if you prefer, if you're my friend on Facebook, just drop me a question on my Facebook page and I will see that, and I'll be sure to ask Juliet of Bearskin Beauty about your question on the show Saturday. So looking forward to doing that. Okay, so tonight we have Erin Meagher from Kelapo Coconut Oil, and I met Erin at the Gluten Free Expo, and immediately, I'm such a big fan of coconut oil, I knew I had to have her on. So I invited her to come on, and she is here tonight. So let me see if this is Erin in the switchboard. I think it is because it's an 813 number, which I think is Tampa. Hey, Erin, is that you?
Hey, Darren. Yep, I'm here.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Glad you could make it and finally come on and talk about coconut oil.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Cool. So let's get into it. I had some announcements there. Hope I didn't take too long. But am I even pronouncing your name right?
You know what? You pronounced my name and the company correctly, so props to you, because no one can usually do both, and you did both correctly.
Okay. Thank you. Kudos to me. English was one of my strong points. But I was just afraid I was going to botch your last name and also botch the name of the company. But I didn't, so great. So tell us how you got started with this whole thing of wanting to start something with coconut oil, Erin.
Well, my background was not in natural foods. I actually went to school to be a high school business teacher. And so I was always interested in business, and at that point when I was going to college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in business, or I didn't really have any ideas or anything I was passionate about at that time. So when I got out, I was teaching high school here in Tampa Bay area and leading a healthy, active lifestyle. So watching what I was eating, making sure it was healthy, organic, all that kind of good stuff. And I read an article in our local paper here, and it was about a woman whose husband had Alzheimer's, and she wanted to research ways to help him because she was a doctor herself. And she started doing some research, finding that the lauric acid and MCTs in coconut oil could be potentially used as an energy source for your brain. So that kind of piqued my interest. Read more through this article, and they did an actual test where they had her husband draw a clock from memory, and it looked like a 2-year-old depiction of what a clock might look like. And then by changing his diet for 2 weeks and only introducing the coconut oil and MCTs and his oatmeal every morning, they had him go back after a 2-week time frame and do the clock again. It was more like a 5-year-old's clock. And I was like, that's amazing. Like, how can the food we eat really have that much of an impact on our health? And I did more research on coconut oil and looking at the articles that are out there, the medical journals, and I was seeing things that it was helping people with metabolism and their cholesterol levels and thyroid conditions, and I was hooked on that point. I was like, wow, this coconut oil is something really, really special. And this was about 2009, so 4 years ago. And at that time, I looked in the marketplace, like what you could buy in the store, and there wasn't much out there. There was maybe, one really big company who had coconut oil, but that coconut oil was part of all these, products they had. Who knows the quality of it? Because even though we live in Florida, you can't get coconut oil from the coconuts here in Florida. Like, we're still a little bit too cold. You can't grow coconuts here. So you have to import all the coconut oil from outside the U.S. So I was looking at all these brands that are out there going, how do they know the quality or the transparency? Where are they sourcing it from? And so I thought that I would take it upon myself to bring the best coconut oil to the U.S., and so that people who wanted to use it for health reasons had a great product that they could turn to and trust. And that's how it all started.
Yeah. How did you source this? Did you have to go, I noticed that on the back, and I might be incorrect, but I noticed on the back when you gave us some samples at the Gluten Free Expo, it said Sri Lanka. So did you have to go over there and source this, or how did it all come about?
I have not been myself yet. I really want to try to plan a trip this year because I've been busy with getting, a startup is crazy, so I never had time to go myself. Luckily, I was able to meet my suppliers in California before I brought any product in, but even before meeting them, what I did is, starting my company, I worked from my house, and I did a lot of research online first. So you can look at a lot of trade data, and you can see companies who are exporting products from their countries. So you get a lot of coconut oil from the South Pacific. The Philippines is the largest supplier, but you also get coconut oils from Malaysia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, all of those countries. So I could go on and I could research and find all these companies that were already exporting coconut oil. I could see who they were sending it to in the U.S. or what companies in the U.S. were purchasing it. And then that's how I started doing research. And then luckily, because of the Internet and Skype and all those great things, I was able to contact all the companies over there in all the different countries and start requesting samples. And then I would get a sample sent to me in the States, have it tested, do, all other just things like looking at the oil, what was the color of the oil, what was the flavor of the oil, what was the smell of the oil, until through what I discerned is the best oil that I found, which is coming out of Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and your oil actually tastes pretty good. We bought some from you, and you also gave us some sample packets. And there's only one other coconut oil I want to mention on this call that I really like the taste of. But getting back to what you were saying, how do you know that you're getting a good quality coconut oil? Is it in the smell? Is it in the way the coconut oil actually looks? How do you know?
So things that as a consumer that you want to look for, like when you're in the store, because you can't open them all up when you're there and